Okay, we're going to talk about transformations today, and we're just going to sum up all of the rules just to remind you. So remember, we had translations, which can also be called a slide. And what I want you to remember about translations is that the rule is always represented with adding or subtracting. It's always represented with adding or subtracting. And remember how we used to, we write the rule where we do x comma y, and then we might say x plus a number and y minus a number, something like that. That would be an example of what a translation rule would look like. It's really important that we remember the rule is always adding or subtracting. Does a translation preserve congruency? The answer is yes. It never changes size. It only slides around. Does a translation preserve orientation? And the answer is yes. It doesn't turn. It just slides around. There's nothing about it that it changes. Okay, a reflection. Remember, a reflection is a flip. And remember our rule, we are going to multiply by -1. And what's really important to remember this is that the x and y don't change places. They don't change places. The x and y don't change places. So a 180 rule, or I'm sorry, reflection, I'm thinking something else. They don't change places. And so either we're going to have x comma -y, or it could be -x comma y. So only one of them is negative, and they don't change places. Does a reflection preserve congruency? Yes, it does. It does not change size. Does it preserve orientation? And the answer is no, because we're flipping it, right? So we could have like two triangles, and they've switched. So they don't preserve orientation. The direction changes. Okay, rotations. So rotations are a little tricky. Rotations are also getting multiplied by -1. But what we'll see is we could have the 180 where both the x and the y are negative, or we have the 90 degrees and the 270 where they switch places. So it could look something like that. So they're switching places. Does a rotation stay the same size and shape? Yes, it does. Does it preserve orientation? No, it does not, because it turns. Okay, and then the last one is a dilation. Dilation, remember, we multiply by a number, any number. It has that scale factor. And so it's always going to be x comma y equals k times x or k times y, k being a number. So it's always multiplying by a number. Does it preserve congruency? No, it does not. Does it preserve orientation? Yes, it does.